Chris are ready to go.
Hey, welcome to it, San Diego. Happy Monday to you. Gwynn and Chris kicking off another week here on San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby together in our Odyssey Palace studios. We'll be here till 4:30 today. Short program with Monday Night Football awaiting the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. We have a ton to get to, but before we get to anything, I need to enlist the help of my partner, Tony Gwynn Jr.
Talk to me.
Here's what I need, Tony. Arms out. Start flapping. Make the sound that only you can make.
Oh, oh.
That's the Seahawks.
Oh, I'm like, what?
A little Seahawks sounder to start the program for you,
That wasn't a
Scrape.
Seahawk.
That was a Seahawk.
That was
Remember,
the
Seahawks aren't
Seahawk.
real, so you don't know what they
so
sound
they
like.
can be exactly how I make them sound, buddy.
Is that how we're really going to start today?
Absolutely.
It's not how we're going to start it. It's how we did start it.
Yeah.
That's how we did start it, sir.
I have, you know what? They're a bad team. I don't care anymore.
I know you
Oh,
don't.
he
That-
doesn't
you're right.
care.
That's right. You know what? He doesn't care. If they go on to win the Super Bowl right now, he won't even be watching.
I don't
He'll
care.
have, he'll have left long ago.
I don't care for now.
I
I
tell you
see.
what, Scray, I got up this morning and went and got my hair cut at the barber shop.
Which, by the way, everybody loves when you say that because we all have the same
It is hard to
question.
believe that you
Well,
get a
I get
haircut.
yes,
It
I
really
know,
truly
I know,
is.
I know. And
How much did they charge you for that experience?
it's not cheap. I'll tell you that.
It should be.
That's what I would think, too. But no matter where I go, it doesn't matter. Got to the barber shop today, and your local 49er fan did not show up to work
He
today.
did not. Oh, my
Oh.
goodness.
Did not show up. So I took a picture of his stall with his cover over it and sent him the message. I said I wouldn't have shown up to work either after that pathetic performance.
Yeah,
that
Scrappy,
the
you're at
49ers
least a
had
step
last
ahead of
night.
some of the people. You did show up to work today.
So,
we,
DJ, if you're
congratulate
listening,
you for that.
I was quite upset that you didn't show up to work this morning on time.
DJ, if you're listening, I feel your pain, man. We just have to accept as 49er fans this team is not as good as we were told before the year.
What makes it even better
And
about,
I did not want to start 49ers.
about DJ is that he isn't. He's in denial. He's not where you are in terms of your 49er fandom. Like, he still thinks this is the best team in the NFL. And I enjoyed thoroughly watching Geno Smith march down the field as the 49ers could not get any pressure on the quarterback. And then when they did, Geno just took off and walked it off, basically,
jaunted
for the
into the
Seahawks.
end zone.
There's nothing more annoying than when a quarterback who can't run ends up winning the game running.
He ran about 25 yards for a first down earlier in
Yeah, he
that
did.
drive
I'm well
as
aware.
your team faded. But that's okay. You have an excuse. Nick Bosa hurt his hip, and he was standing over on the sideline while the Seahawks were making the winning drive. So there's that happiness. No matter what happens today, Tony, we have that happiness.
We can
And
always keep going back to that throughout
and we
the
may have
2
to,
hours.
and we
I see
may
2.5
why,
hours, yes.
We
okay.
may have to keep going back to it because it is an hour away for the Major League Baseball Rookie of the Year announcement. And we have kept high hopes, and we have been as positive thinking as we possibly can.
It does feel
and
like
we
they're
have
setting us up.
crossed all of our fingers and our toes, and we really believe it. I don't think I've tried to think, is this like a homer pick? But I just don't think it is.
It's not.
We really think Jackson Merrill is the better and more deserving candidate for National League Rookie of the Year.
We aren't the only ones either,
And I
by the
think,
way.
I think anybody that truly paid attention to this season and takes everything on the field into account, then Jackson Merrill would have to be the Rookie of the Year. But all signs are pointing to the trendy pick of Paul Skeens. And I just, for everybody who voted for Paul Skeens, remember his girlfriend, Livy Dunn, does not play baseball. The fact that, he started the All-Star game was a selection, not necessarily something that he flat out earned. He had for what he did, a great season. But Jackson Merrill did it all year long at I would say, a more premium position, considering he had to do it every single day, Tony. And you throw in the stretch that he had in August where he practically carried the Padres right into the playoffs.
Yeah.
It just seems like there's a right choice and a wrong choice, and it honestly seems like the wrong choice is going to win because the wrong choice has more bells and whistles. That's how I feel it's going to turn out. I hope I'm wrong.
It's hard for anybody to convince, if you watched baseball this year, to convince that individual that somehow what Jackson Merrill did this year was less impressive and less worthy, more importantly, of the Rookie of the Year. But this is, and listen, I hope in an hour. They say it's an hour, but usually that show starts in an hour, and then they're going to drag us for another hour.
Yeah, I've had a few questions. The coverage starts at 3 p.m.
Yes.
And it's over at 4 p.m. It'll probably be 3:58 p.m.
Right. They're going to drag us out a little bit. But however that time is, I hope I'm wrong. I hope we're all wrong about how we're feeling about what the outcome is going to be, which is that Paul Skeens will eventually be named the Rookie of the Year. I hope we're all wrong.
Yeah,
because Jackson is more than worthy.
Yes, I don't think we're begging here.
No, I don't think so either.
I really think we have a hell of a case.
I think his year should have spoke loud enough, honestly.
Yes, and I looked at ESPN today, ESPN Plus. I'm sure you have to pay for this article, but they polled 9 quote experts, and they all made their picks for not only Rookie of the Year but all the other awards. And it didn't just go to Paul Skeens by a 5-4 vote. It went 8-1 in favor of Paul Skeens. Like, one lonely guy or gal on this poll picked Jackson Merrill. The other 8 found the bells and whistles to be more attractive than, the incredible season that Merrill put together. I will give our guy Bradford Doolittle a little credit, and I know he's not our favorite around here, but
speak for yourself.
He wrote, all right, you like him. He wrote about the Rookie of the Year race, and he said, because Skeens is a Cy Young finalist, you might think he'd be a no-brainer in this category, but you would be wrong. That's how strong this rookie class was. Merrill was developed as a shortstop, but because they needed a center fielder, the Padres put him there, and he ended up playing 155 games. Yeah, he held his own. He posted average range metrics while leading the NL in outfield assists. He did that and kept his bat in the lineup good enough to go 292, finish in the top 10, 24-90. And it was an incredible year that Merrill had. Offense, defense, running the bases, being beyond his years in terms of knowledge of the game.
With all due respect to Mr. Doolittle, I think he undersold it in that little blurb.
He might have undersold it a little there, huh?
He held his own. He was top 10 in batting average this year. That's a little more than holding your own at that
you're right.
point.
I mean, he made the All-Star team, too.
Yes, I mean...
I know Skeens made it and got selected for this to start because it was a PR move. And I'm not... Everything that we say is to not try to take anything from Skeens. A 196 is a real deal. I mean, the guy was he was impressive as hell. But he wasn't as good as Jackson this year. He just wasn't.
I won't even say that he wasn't as good. He just wasn't every day. It wasn't as long. Jackson was sustained from end of March all the way through October.
Yeah. Remember that slump that we kept waiting for from Jackson Merrill?
Never happened.
It never happened.
Never happened.
It never once happened. The guy never went into a tailspin in any way, shape, or form.
I would venture to say the Padres don't do what they do this year without Jackson Merrill.
I don't see how they could have.
So I mean, to me, Doolittle is
and the Pirates certainly could have done what they did without Skeens, which is finish last place.
Exactly.
That's where they finished.
Doolittle's blurb there, although really crediting Jackson Merrill, is really kind of insightful in how it may be viewed on the other side of the United States, right? I mean, as positive as it was, to say he held his own is an undersell, and that may be how it ends up being voted on.
I have a couple things. Who led all rookies in home runs last year?
I believe that was Jackson Merrill.
Tied with Colton Cowser. I just want to make sure, but different leagues. Who had the best rookie average this year, batting average?
I also believe that was Jackson Merrill.
Thank you for saying that,
You're
Tony. Also, who had the most RBIs among rookies this year?
I think it was Jackson Merrill again.
He won the triple crown for rookies.
As you can tell, he did a lot of things that rookies just don't do, but Paul Skeens is the darling. And I know I sound like I'm a sore loser.
Paul Skeens is the eye candy, and
I don't
now you're being critical of a guy's looks, and I don't appreciate that.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of what you're doing.
I didn't.
You said, I don't know about that.
He's the eye candy, he's the bells, he's the whistles. But the meat of it all was Merrill. And, we'll see how it turns out. We're going to find out, 3 o'clock is when the Rookie of the Year show begins. You're right, Tony and Scraby. It may not be till 3:30 or 3:45 when they announce it and break our hearts. But, this is going to sting a little bit because, unless we're wrong. I mean,
I hope we're wrong.
Yeah.
I hope
I do too.
We are seeing it completely backwards.
As of now, no one has been named the award winner.
That's right.
Jackson Merrill is still up for the award.
Yes, he is. And one lonely voter on ESPN agreed with us.
Well,
and 8 of them were just quick to jump right into the party that is Paul Skeens.
We're going to have Matt Snyder on some point this week, and I know that Matt Snyder has a Rookie of the Year vote, so we're going to have to.
Oh, we're going to have to.
We're going to have to question him. We're going to have to do that because I believe we already know who he is voting for. He has not told us, but he
wouldn't tell us. I don't think he came clean.
It
didn't sound like he was voting for Jackson Merrill.
I definitely, the tone in his voice changed when
you felt that he was.
That's what my feeling is. I hope I'm wrong.
But he has all year been saying that Jackson Merrill's been amazing, so maybe he was just trying to throw us all off.
Well, one thing I'll say about Matt Snyder, he at least pays attention to what the Padres are doing.
Yes.
And if he legitimately felt that Skeens was more deserving than Jackson Merrill, I at least feel like Matt Snyder was one of those guys that understood what Jackson Merrill did.
Right.
So please, if you had to vote Skeens out there, I hope you at least took the time to appreciate, what Merrill did, because I'm just concerned that a lot of people look at the name, see the All-Star thing, see the hype machine that was Paul Skeens before the season ever started, and just are going Paul Skeens without really thinking it through and without looking it through and without taking the necessary time to really map this out.
I personally hope that
didn't Jackson have a higher WAR or WAR or all of that? Even all the stuff I hate, he was better.
He better not have and lose this.
Let me see. Jackson Merrill had a 4.4 WAR. Paul Skeens had a
12.2 or something.
5.9. So not a whole big difference right there.
As I've said, that's a stupid statistic of all time.
I'm getting a lot of Pirates fans that are angry at me on Twitter.
Well, they think that we're talking against their guy. We're not. We're talking for our guy.
And I may be talking against their guy.
Yeah,
well, you said he's not very good looking. I mean, you're really taking personal shots at the guy.
I know, but what I kept saying was they're like, hey, he pitched for most of the year. He made 23 starts. I'm like, most pitchers pitch 33 starts. Those 10 starts could be a big deal. Like, that's a lot of starts. If he had 1 or 2, I would probably, buy that. But 10 starts is a lot.
Well, if you're a Pirates fan, good on you. And I'm sorry for you because you've had a lot of misery in your life. But if you're a Pirates fan, are you only voting Paul Skeens because he plays for the Pirates? Or are you taking a legit look at this and saying, no, I think Paul Skeens was just better?
The real one.
Because I don't think that can be the case. I don't even know how you could back it up.
I would not put too much stock in a fan base picking if that would. I hope, because on the flip side of that, I would hope that most Padre fans, regardless, would still pick Jackson Merrill. I mean, I think that's how most of it would go. I think there are other ones out there, fans out there that see it like we see it most of the time, Chris, which is you're paying attention to both, you're giving it the credit. But a fan base is supposed to do what they do. However, thankfully, or not thankfully, depending on who has more fans on their side, this is an award picked by the writers. And so the question will be, were they paying attention? Were they up for those who are on the East Coast?
Were the writers thinking along with the executives and the people from Sporting News? Were they thinking along the lines of the players who also voted Jackson Merrill the Rookie of the Year? That's the question we're going to find out in the next hour or so.
Did you see the All MLB team too? They had 4.
Hold that thought.
Okay,
it's 216.
Yeah, don't go over, Scraby.
Yeah, I think
the producer of the show doesn't like when you do that.
I did put it in the second segment. I should go with the flow here.
Yes, we're almost done.
Learn how the show works, Scraby. All right, we're underway. We got Week 11 of the NFL to recap. We'll do that with our good, bad, and ugly. We've got the third-ranked college basketball team in the nation in town, the Gonzaga Zags are here, and they'll take on the Aztecs tonight. We've got to preview that game and more on this Rookie of the Year as we get underway. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby, Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan.
In the
Things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not used to complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making.
Jackson Merrill to lead it off for the Padres. Tying run at the plate. Swings at the first pitch. Sends it in the air to deep center field. Pache is back at the wall. It's gonna go! For the third consecutive game, the Padres have tied it in the ninth. It's 2-2.
Just some of the heroics of Jackson Merrill in 2024.
One thing we can say for sure, Paul Skeens didn't do anything 3 games in a row.
That's a fact.
Yes,
Right?
great point, Chris. Great
Yes,
point.
You're welcome.
Welcome in, Gwynn and Chris. 2:23 on the clock.
It's so bad. We're like ripping on Paul Skeens and just,
Yeah, I mean, Paul Skeens.
we're dismissing him entirely,
Yeah,
and
we're
that's
not
fair either.
We're not.
I don't think we're dismissing him.
He
at
had a
all.
phenomenal season,
Yeah.
a rookie season for the ages. But so did Jackson Merrill, and he just happened to do it all year long. And that's really all we're saying. Nothing that really knocks
Nothing more, nothing
Paul
less.
Skeens. He's phenomenal. He's going to continue to be phenomenal. We just think Jackson Merrill was a tad bit better this year when it all boils down to. Listen to Inside San Diego Baseball with Sam Levitt Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. right here on 97.3 The Fan and on our YouTube page. Sam will talk all things Padres baseball and keep you up to date on the latest hot stove rumors. Before we get into anything else, I must take a moment to wish my lovely wife a happy anniversary, our 18th
Very good.
anniversary. We'll celebrate tonight.
Your anniversary's old enough to vote.
It's first year
Yes, all right.
eligible to
Good for
vote.
you.
Nonetheless, just wanted to send that out to
Congratulations
that sweet
to both
lady.
of the Gwynns there.
Thank you very much.
Good.
Going back to baseball, over the weekend, the All MLB team was announced.
And Jackson Merrill's first team and Paul Skeens was left off.
And no, actually, that's not how it went down. Paul Skeens was actually first team, but the Padres had a record 4 guys named to the All MLB second team. Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, the 2 position players, and then Dylan Cease and Michael King were the 2 pitchers. That's a big achievement. This is the best of the best. This is the equivalent of all pros in the NFL. And so these are, top 10 pitchers in the league for Dylan Cease and Michael King. I don't know what order that would be in. Obviously, they'd be 6 through 10, and then Manny Machado, the second best major league third baseman, and Jackson Merrill, one of the top 6 outfielders in Major League Baseball. And you look at the class that he's in, it really is kind of an impressive class, right? I mean, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Mookie Betts on first team, and then it's Jackson Merrill, Jarren Duran, and Teoscar Hernandez who round out that second team for all MLB.
Yeah, Machado was the top National League third baseman, obviously, because Jose Ramirez was the first team guy. And Jackson would have been a first-team National League guy because there's 3 National League guys. But again, going back to Skeens, there he is, number 1 on the first team.
Yeah.
And, without pitching the whole year, but doing what he did. And that is what voters, seem to gravitate to. So maybe that is some unfortunate writing on the wall as far as what's going to happen in this vote later today.
Yeah,
I hate to say.
That's kind of how the cookie crumbles.
We will get to our golf outing at some point.
Golf outing was fun. Yes, I mean at some point we'll get to.
I was just saying that because I know people are asking, but we're talking about the real important stuff here, and that's Jackson Merrill winning Rookie of the Year.
We got a GBU coming up where the 49ers will continue to get pummeled along with Mr. Scraby over there. Yeah, I know. It's going to be one of those days today. Part of, what is happening or what's at stake, I should say, for Jackson Merrill is they have this PPI eligibility, which is something that the players union had put in to kind of rectify the situation, the last collective bargaining agreement. I don't know if you remember Chris and I continuously talking about players wanting to become free agents earlier because of how it was working out. I mean, most free agents, unless you are a Manny Machado or a Bryce Harper or a Jackson Merrill at this point, assuming he is here for the rest of his career, you're usually looking at 31, 32, around that age of free agency. This was one of the kind of gives, I guess, for the owners. They certainly weren't going to give back to free agency after 7 years. They weren't going to give that back. But they did make it so that rookie players can have a chance to make a little more money. And that's where this PPI eligibility comes in. Jackson Merrill, clearly eligible for that. You start getting into the all MLBs, the MVPs, the Cy Youngs. That is where you have a chance to make some money. So we'll see how this all shakes out, but certainly in about an hour and a half, we'll have, or I guess half an hour, we'll have some answers, hopefully.
Did you say draft picks too for a team? I know that's separate from Jackson Merrill, but
I didn't get into that part of it.
Okay, gotcha.
No. Go ahead.
I mean, that's huge too, because I believe I read earlier Corbin Carroll and Gunnar Henderson got the 31st and 32nd pick for their teams just by winning the award, which I don't really understand how a team who has a great player is rewarded by getting another great player or possible great player, but that's on the line too, is a good pick for the Padres.
Yeah.
Well, one thing about the money is that we spend an inordinate amount of time on this in every sports talk show, television and radio, talking about the incredible salaries that these Major League Baseball players make. One thing we don't talk about is how little they make until they're able to reach free agency.
Right.
Because they really don't make a whole lot.
I mean, little.
For like 6 years.
Relative to the sport we're talking
about.
Right,
relative to the sport we're talking about. Yes, they make a nice living, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But comparatively speaking, your first 5 or 6 years in baseball, and what is the percentage of guys that make it beyond 5 or 6 years? Not that
it's
high.
Not high, right.
Not that high.
Which is why you see a guy like Nick Martinez, who took his qualifying offer. He was making $13 million last year. His qualifying offer was for $21.5. He didn't even want to go to free agency. He just took the qualifying offer.
He wanted to get to his number
that's
of years.
$8 million raise for him right there.
That's a really, really good price for me if I'm Nick Martinez.
Absolutely, even if it is Cincinnati.
Yeah, and you only get 1 year deal. You can put money away. You can pitch yourself into another 2 or 3 year deal.
Right. That's right.
Good stuff.
So, nonetheless, the countdown continues. 30 minutes until we find out if our hearts are full or if they're slashed in half. Let's get to break.
Man, we are painting a really grim scene on this show.
Let's get to break. When we come back, a little GBU.
Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Indeed.
There's Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec baseball tournament. It's the SDSU baseball alumni tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well, so. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You've hit some.
We are week 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off a birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel. He wants to attack me. Squirrely! We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after.
It was a 5-footer.
After our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Gravy, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him, but we all had a good time. There's Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec baseball tournament. It's the SDSU baseball alumni tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well, so. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You've hit some.
We are week 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off a birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel. He wants to attack me. Squirrely! We just got Our second birdie of the day, thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after
It was a 5-footer.
after our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Gravy, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble, and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us, and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him. But we all had a good time. There's a Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec'd out here at the Aztec baseball tournament. It's the SDSU baseball alumni tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well, so. So Chris says I can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Down by 1, swings at the first pitch, sends it in the air, deep to right center field. Taylor is back. This one gonna go! Jackson Merrill's second homer of the night has tied it 6-6 here in the ninth.
Yeah, he kind of had a habit of doing those types of things in what we all believe should be a Rookie of the Year season. But the official voting will be announced here within the next hour. Actually, the program on MLB Network starts at 3 o'clock, but we figured they'll dilly-dally for a while.
They got 2 awards, so one of them has to go first. I just want to get it out of the way.
Yes, American League Rookie of the Year and National League Rookie of the Year announced today. Tomorrow they'll announce the Managers of the Year. Mike Schilt will be on the hot seat tomorrow. And then it'll be Cy Young on Wednesday, MVP on Thursday. They're saving, quote, the best for last, but the MVP race is the least interesting of all of the awards because we already know it's going to be Judge and Ohtani in those categories. Welcome back to the show, Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby, and the three of us were off on Friday. We apologized to all of you, but it was the Aztec Baseball Alumni Golf Classic. I put that in there, classic. I want to thank, if he's out there, Steven Strasburg, who put it all together, really. Did a fantastic
shout out to
job.
Steven, man. He did a fantastic job, man.
Anybody's ever put together a golf tournament like that? Ask Ben and Woods. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You got to do a lot of stuff to put one of those together. So it was very kind of him to do that.
Good turnout.
And invite us. It was a sellout.
Good free stuff that you get to take home.
A lot of goodies.
I took home a lot of stuff.
Scraby didn't even wait to the first hole before he was already in his goodie bag.
Oh, well, because my hat. I was
using it
embarrassed.
for the actual tournament.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was even thinking about buying a hat on the way down there because I was so embarrassed about how old my other hat was. But I put that other hat right on.
It was a great time out at the Steel Canyon Golf Club. Scraby shot some video. I think Tony stole the day because every time he hit a shot, we sang
Baby, come back!
the old song, Baby Come Back, because his ball kept leaving the fairway and we kept rooting for it to come back.
And it always did.
And it was so fun. It was just so happened that I had that song on my phone, so we were actually playing the song when Tony would hit a shot.
It's funny.
That was kind of a highlight.
One of the San Diego State coaches, Anthony Johnson.
Yeah.
First hole, I hit my patented left-hand fade, but I started it to my right.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Faded into the fairway.
Yes.
And he was the first one that dropped the baby come back.
Yes, and then it stuck with us throughout the day.
Whole round. They didn't
we
let me
have to
put it in
thank Jack Townsend, who was the San Diego State men's golf team player who was assigned to our threesome.
He was our ringer.
And he was quite amazing. Jack, I mean, for anybody who's a weekender to play golf with somebody who's that good It was really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
As I was kind of commiserating to these guys today, Jack's, ability to drive the ball, and it was a scramble format, set us up for like 80, 90-yard chip-ins to the green all day long.
All day long.
And I kept saying, I'm not used to those shots because that's not normally where my drives land. And it was a whole different thing out there. We had
it
a
is
lot
nice to play with a guy who can like literally place it on the fairway where he wants
He's
it to
talking
go.
about drawing it and fading. It's little fades, little draws.
Well, there's a couple of holes where it's like a dog leg, and he'd go, well, where is the hole over that tree there? And we're like, yeah, so what? And then he'd hit it over that tree and directly at the hole. And then we would drive our carts up, turn the corner, and our ball would be sitting in front of the green.
It was
like
also nice to have
heaven.
a guy because San Diego State uses Steel Canyon as one of their home tracks, and it was nice to have someone who was familiar with every nook and cranny of that place.
Thank you to Jack for
shout out to Jack,
giving us a lot of fun out there.
I tried to keep up for a little bit.
By the way,
Scraby, you did keep up for a little bit, man. You were really whacking some serious drives in the early going.
Scraby was making
but then the
Chris
shoulder
and I
gave way.
look bad.
The shoulder gave way for Scrabe after a while.
It was me and Jack. I was hitting birdie putts. I was driving the ball well.
Yeah, but
then it faded.
It faded on you.
The vaunted bunker shot where he jammed that shoulder right into the sand.
That
and
was
it
the
was
end
all
of it.
she wrote.
Yeah,
for him.
Tony actually saw this go down. We were in a fairway bunker. We had like
It was the only
220.
bunker we were in all day because Jack didn't hit into too many
It was like
bunkers.
220 uphill, and so I go in there with like a little rescue
He
club.
tried to muscle that bad boy.
And
up
I
there.
hit into the ground, and my arms just stopped. And my shoulder.
That was the end of
I
you.
just had surgery 5 months ago. It wasn't great. Tony's like, yeah, I saw that. I saw what happened there.
I was very proud that I think it was about the 6th hole, I hit a very nice drive out into the middle of the fairway, and then Jack followed me, and he hit his ball so far that we never found it.
That's true.
It like disappeared from the earth.
Literally.
So we had to use my drive. I was like, yes, we had to use my drive one time. I was really excited, but we had a lot of fun, and thanks to everybody at San Diego State Baseball for having us out there.
And
And
Steven put that on, but Coach Sean Cole and his staff were there as well. It was a good turnout for Aztec baseball.
lots of fun, and if you want to see some video, I know Scraby took a lot of video.
It's already up in the commercial breaks on YouTube.
Posting it during our commercial breaks so you can get a little idea of some of
There's
the
a play-by-play with Chris in there announcing one of my putts.
that failed badly.
It did not feel badly. We had we saw a Sasquatch on the course, and that's in one of my
Oh, that's
videos.
hilarious.
So.
You're so funny. God, you're just a comedian. There you go. That's the song that carried the day.
It did.
And I think all four of us had that song stuck in our head for the entire weekend because we kept singing it over and over again.
Yes.
All right. The NFL Week 11 is in the books. Keep in mind, the Rookie of the Year will be announced a little after the top of the hour, so don't go anywhere. But until then, let's recap some NFL football, shall we?
Do we have to?
The good, the bad, and the ugly from Week 11 of the National Football League. And I cannot stop complimenting the Pittsburgh Steelers. This time it wasn't really Russell Wilson. I mean, he had a good game, kept leading them down the field. They kept kicking field goals. But how about that Steeler defense?
Man.
I mean, no one's been able to even slow down Lamar Jackson this year. And the Steelers did it yesterday. They held him to 10 points until the final minute of the game. Finally, the Ravens scored, but they could not get the 2-point conversion.
Snap. Lamar moving out to the left. Lamar being strung out, and Lamar flings it backhand incomplete, and the Steelers defense has come up with a stop.
I don't know how hard that's got to be to keep him from running into the end zone and cover everybody.
I don't know who the right end was, but he blew that play up.
Great
early.
job by the Steelers.
I thought it was malpractice for the Ravens offense to only let Derrick Henry touch the ball 13 times.
Do we not know he wasn't hurt or something or feeling?
I don't know. He wasn't in for the 2-point conversion,
Which is crazy.
They've lost 4 games this year, the Ravens, which is shocking.
He got.
But usually, when they lose, it's because he doesn't
he
get the
didn't touch
ball
the ball
enough.
That's exactly right. And so they went
But you
back
fall
to that.
in love with Lamar making plays. You forget about Derrick Henry sometimes.
Can't. That's their identity. And give the Steelers a lot of credit, man. They They earned that. They took the ball away.
Yeah, they did.
Derrick Henry hadn't fumbled in like a bunch of carries.
First carry of the game, they knocked it out.
Punched
of there.
it out, and that was kind of the
Chris
omen
Boswell,
for the rest of the
this
game.
is the second game this year they've won with 6 field goals. They beat Atlanta earlier this year at the same manner. So Pittsburgh goes to 8-2. Also good, hurts to admit it, but Jim Harbaugh's doing something right.
He is.
I mean, the Chargers blow the 27-6 lead. And if you follow the Chargers like all of us did our whole lives, you know they're going to end up losing that game. Only they didn't. J.K. Dobbins scored at the end, and the chargering did not happen. Jim Harbaugh and the Bolts improved to 7-3.
This is the only game without a highlight on our service.
34-27 for the Chargers over the Bengals last night.
Like, literally, the only game that's not up there is the Chargers game.
It was still...
Herbert, touchdown! That's what we missed.
Maybe that's why they took it down.
Yeah, here, let's just try to do the last J.K. Dobbins touchdown. Dobbins! Touchdown! Chargers!
But, sir, where did it go?
I don't know. He never tells us where it goes. Also good, the Buffalo Bills. I keep talking about these guys. No one's paying attention to them in the AFC. It's all about the Ravens, the Steelers, the Chiefs, the Bills, because we know they're going to lose in the end. But maybe they won't lose in the end this year. Buffalo got it done against the Chiefs yesterday. Josh Allen's dramatic run clinched it.
Here's some late motion. Fakes the throw. Allen going to step up in the pocket. Now he's going to take it and run, and he's got the first down and more. 10, 5, and muscles his way into the end zone for an unbelievable 26-yard touchdown run. Are you kidding me? Touchdown!
Jim Nantz said he thought it was the play of the year. I'll say this. They were up by 2 with maybe a minute and a half to go. It was 4th and 2. They could have kicked an easy field goal, but you know what would have happened then? Patrick Mahomes would have gone down and won the game.
Too much time. That's exactly what I'm sure they were thinking.
Buffalo said, we got to go for it, and Allen ran it in. And Patrick Mahomes was finally beaten, but he did go up to Josh Allen after the game, shake his hand, and say, we'll do it again, baby. Patrick Mahomes already looking forward to the rematch.
I tell you what, man. Buffalo, to me, is in the same spot that the Ravens are. Or I should say, Josh Allen is in the same spot as Lamar Jackson.
Right, they got to get it done at the biggest time.
We know how great they are during this time of year.
Yeah, you're right.
Will they be able to finally get over the hump? The cold part about it is they may have to take one another out just to face Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, they
can't.
They can't both get to the Super Bowl this year. All right, into the bad category we go, and Tony, you and I can't wait to get there.
Yes.
It was deja vu for the 49ers, who blew a late lead, just as they had done earlier this year in losses to the Rams and the Cardinals.
I was there for the Rams one.
Yes, you were. Geno Smith, the fleet-footed Geno Smith, scrambled in for the game winner.
Got cement in his shoes.
For Seattle.
Gets the snap. Looks. Steps up. Gonna run. 10, 5. Geno. Touchdown. Seahawks. Holy catfish. Geno Smith runs left side. Can't find anybody open from 13 out. 12 seconds left. And the Seahawks take the lead. 19-17. Are you kidding me? No quit in this bunch.
Tony and Chris are doing the Angels in the outfield thing over here. I don't know what they're doing.
I expect Danny Glover to come walking in at any moment. Final score, Seattle 20, the Niners.
I'll tell you this, guys.
What are you telling us?
I'm preparing for missing the playoffs.
You should.
I feel like they can make it in because there's not that many great teams for the 7.
Who, the Cardinals are ahead of you now?
I feel like the Cardinals are going to fall off.
Seahawks are
Cardinals are 6-4. The rest of the division is 5-5.
So it's still
wide open.
there.
They still got a shot.
Still wide open.
But they need to do something.
They better get healthy.
Kyle Shanahan, if I get another 8-minute drive that ends up with a 28-yard field goal,
maybe that's
I'm going to scream.
Maybe that's on your quarterback.
No, the quarterback was great.
Brock
Purdy was the only one who scored a touchdown yesterday.
You got to finish the drive.
No, he wasn't the only one, but he did score a touchdown. Brock Purdy's been really good at running the ball this year.
You got to finish the drive.
Yeah, he did. He ran the ball in and
that
scored.
Was one time.
can't make every play, Tony.
Hey, that's the responsibility of the quarterback.
All right, we got to move along because we got a lot to get to. Worse than the Niners is the Jets. Aaron Rodgers can say, "Don't blame me this time." He gave the Jets a late lead, but the Jets defense couldn't hold it against the Colts.
Richardson out of the gun. He's going to take it off left edge. Take the 5, cuts into the end zone. Follows his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Anthony Richardson. His second rushing touchdown today. And the Colts, with the score right there, lead 28-27 with 46 seconds to go.
Hey,
He's
color
got
guy,
it. Go ahead.
Shut up.
He's got it. Go ahead.
Shut up, color guy.
Touchdown.
28-27.
And the coach after,
Colts.
just being that guy. He just sat the guy 2 weeks ago. He's like, we always knew he had this in him.
Of course.
Is that what he said? Did he
I'm
really say that?
I'm paraphrasing. He said
Yeah.
he's going to be a great player.
Oh,
and
man. Yeah. Joe Flacco gives us the best chance to win.
Really?
No, he doesn't. Anthony Richardson
Really?
does. No, Joe Flacco does. No,
That was
Anthony
2
Richardson does.
weeks ago.
Also bad was the Raiders, especially their defense yesterday. They added Norv Turner, and the brilliant offensive mind of Norv did help the Raiders offense put some points up. But Miami had 6 possessions in this game. They scored on all 6, including this TD pass from Tua to Jonnu Smith.
Back to throw Tua. Getting pressure, gets it off downfield, and he's got a wide open Smith at the 30, at the 20, it's a 30 to the end zone. Touchdown!
With all due
just
respect to
happened
all of those, I'll try to explain what happened. I could have thrown that touchdown pass.
Tua
there was no
barely
one
got
within
it to
30
him.
yards of him.
He
You're
almost
right.
missed him.
He almost missed it. Dolphins beat the Raiders 34-19. Ugly. It's not Detroit that was ugly, but Jacksonville certainly is. This is a team that was supposed to be a lot better than 2-9. All they did yesterday was give the Lions, or not give them, but watch the Lions get 7 touchdowns on their first 7 possessions of the game.
Goff up under center, turns, fakes the give to Jameer, throws, end zone, caught! Amon-Ra St. Brown, touchdown Detroit Lions!
Kneecap Cannibal never stops. He just keeps on
Keep
piling
pouring
it on. I think he gets bonus money for the more points. That's the second time they put 52 on somebody this year.
They look.
Pretty
They look like the
unstoppable.
They look like the best team in all of football.
9-1.
Here's
Yeah.
how it's different for them this year rather than last year. This year, people are hunting them.
Nobody's
last year,
hunting
they
them.
were hunting.
It doesn't seem like
the
anybody's
hunted.
hunting them.
They
straight.
they are being the hunted now.
It doesn't feel like it. It
well,
feels
the
like
regular
there's-
season wins are great, but when the pressure is on,
Listen to you.
Oh, you're still
When the
trying to convince
pressure
yourself
is
that they're
on.
going to be beaten, huh?
He is. He 100% is.
Yeah. Good luck. 52
it's
to
very
6.
cute that Dolphins fans, that Lions fans are up in my DMs all upset
Good.
about
I hope
things.
they stay in there, buddy.
The Falcons are in first place in the NFC South, but they certainly didn't look like it yesterday, as they were blown out in the Mile High City.
Play fake. Bo rolls to his right, squares his shoulders, throws a strike. That ball caught, and this is little Jordan Humphrey pulling away to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Denver.
Falcons still lead that division, believe it or not, but they were humiliated 38 to 6 yesterday.
Oh, Adams' team is coming back down to earth.
Bo Nix and the Broncos swept that NFC South this year.
What's up with Kirk Cousins, man?
Denver 6-5, hanging tough with their under our favorite coach Sean Payton.
Michael Penix, is he coming soon? Is he going to be there?
No, this was their defense was injury depleted, and Denver went up and down the field.
All right, I'm trying to find controversy.
I know you are. Finally, the ugly was the finish of the Chicago Bears special teams kicking unit, which was about to present Tony with another upset victory until the Packers did this at the end.
Here's the snap, placement made. The kick is blocked. It is blocked. It is blocked. And the Packers have won. Beautiful. It is blocked. It comes up short, and the Packers have won 11 straight over the Bears.
Yeah, that doesn't feel too good to Bears fans, by the way. Losing 11 in a row to the Packers.
no, it
20 to
doesn't.
19 was
Put a
the
smile
final.
on my face.
Matt Eberflus sent a complaint note into the NFL today because his snapper got
Demolished.
demolished on
stepped
that
on, yeah.
field goal. Yeah, I think there's a good chance they're going to overturn that result for you, Matt.
Having everybody show up, replay the down.
Before the next game.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Scraby. Good highlights. Hour number 2 and the Rookie of the Year award soon.
o'clock on the dot. Gwynn and Chris, Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Scravy. Looks like the award show is just kicking off. The BBWAA Awards is on the way. Paul Skeens, Jackson Merrill, Jackson Cherio. Those are the three for the Rookie of the Year in the National League.
And here comes Scraby down the red carpet.
I'm just trying to set the mood, everybody.
With his mother as his date.
Oh, my mom said if I ever go to the Academy Awards and I don't take her, then she's disowning me.
Yeah, I bet.
Gotta bring mom.
bet.
Gotta bring mom to the
You
Academy
are kind
Awards.
of a mama's boy, so you should take mom.
My mom, thought that I could become an Academy Award-winning director. She definitely pushed me in the right direction, guys.
You're on your way.
I'm on my way.
You're on your way, dog. Don't let anybody tell you
I made those
different.
golf videos in the break.
We got a daily gambit where we find out how we did over the weekend on a few bets that went our way. Aztecs in the Gonzaga Zags.
Yeah, 7
tonight.
o'clock. Big deal.
Viejas Arena.
Yeah, the new rankings came out today. So Gonzaga moved from number 4 to number 3. So that means if we beat them, it's even better.
Yeah.
No, the Aztecs are not in there,
They're not
but
in there.
they will be if they beat them. Last year, and then last year, the Aztecs have no returning players, and Gonzaga has all returning players. But last year, the Aztecs not only beat them, but beat them by double digits. And it was the first time in like a million years that they lost a home game by double digits.
Yeah. No. And
The Aztecs really put a hurting on them last year. So Brian Dutcher said, the good news is we won last year and it was the greatest thing ever. The bad news is they probably remember that.
Yeah, they know.
We got to be really ready tonight because like all the Gonzaga players are back. They remember this game and they're looking incredible. They've scored over 100 points every game this year, Gonzaga, or they're averaging over 100 points, I should say. They're just, destroying people. It's early, but
I think these are matchups early that you kind of are measuring sticks, right?
Yes,
I think
it doesn't hurt the Aztecs no
not at
matter
all.
what, as long as they don't just get blown out of the arena. And I don't know who's ever blown the Aztecs out of Viejas Arena.
It's hard to remember a blowout.
Yeah, not
at
too
any
often,
point.
if at all. So
I think Gonzaga's played Baylor for sure. That's
101 to 63.
They beat up pretty good.
That was ugly. They beat Arizona State, and then they had a third win in there. The Aztecs have only played UCSD and Occidental.
Yeah,
not exactly the greatest of all lead-ins to the number 3 team in the nation.
You gotta guard tonight, and I think to Chris's point, you gotta protect against that early push that the
don't
Zags
let them get in a
have.
rhythm.
Exactly.
Don't let them get in a rhythm.
Because that's what they did in last year's matchup really well. They got up in the Zags early, and that kind of set the tone.
Let them know they weren't going to go away all night long.
That's
but they also had Ledee. They also had Trammell. They also had Reese Waters, who's not going to play tonight. They also had Miles Bird, who's probably not going to play tonight.
Ankle.
And, so it's going to be an incredibly tall task for San Diego State tonight. But
looking forward to it, though.
Yeah, it's really going to, to me, there's something fun about a no-lose situation.
I agree.
They're supposed to lose. Everyone thinks they're going to lose. How about this? Gonzaga's favored by 11.5 points. It's the last time the Aztecs were underdog like that.
By the way,
on their home court.
Jackson Merrill is in the Padres dugout as we speak with the headset on.
Are they about to announce it this early? This is amazing.
This is amazing. Are they just setting us up right now with the picture?
I don't know.
It looks like they're interviewing all 3 guys at one time. Jackson Cherio looks like he's in his home. Paul Skeens.
Did Paul Skeens get a makeover?
Paul Skeens doesn't.
I think he did.
Well, he's grown a little bit of a beard.
Got
Paul
a beard.
Has.
Looked like he had a couple facials from between the end of the season and now.
Jackson Merrill, there he is.
Skin is looking plush.
I think if they announce Paul Skeens as the winner, Jackson Merrill ought to throw his headset down.
This is how you know.
Walk away in disgust.
This is how you know Jackson's from the East Coast originally. I think for all San Diegans right now, it's pretty chilly outside.
Not to Jackson Merrill.
Jackson Merrill has a short sleeve shirt, top button popped.
Yeah,
he's ready.
He's relaxed.
Looking like $1 million.
All right. So we'll keep our eye on that. If they happen to announce. Paul Skeens is sitting, it looks like, Paul Skeens looks like he's sitting in the Butler cabin at the Masters.
He's got the fireplace.
He's got the fireplace going in the background.
Yeah,
the beard is new. It's interesting.
What is he?
Paul Skeens is.
He looks like he's in a commercial or something right now.
Well, maybe he already knows he won, and so he's already. I gotta be good for the pictures, guys. Jackson Merrill looks like he's in his garage.
He's got to close his blinds at least. That's about all I can
We'll
say
keep an
about
eye
it.
on that.
All right, let's get to some Daily Gambit.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo!
If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Well, nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. People are having fun on the chat with the Skeens. Paul Skeens looks like he's in a Men's Fashion Depot commercial.
You know what his background looks like? The what was it? The world's greatest man. What's the beer commercial?
The most interesting man in the world. He does.
He kind of has that background with the fireplace. Oh, I see.
The camera's trying to get Libby done. She's trying to get in there. I shouldn't hate Paul Skeens.
Stop hating on Paul,
I'm not hating
man.
him. I know.
He's
I'm
living
just,
his best life.
I'm just defending my guy. So we'll keep an eye on this as we go. But they are still interviewing everyone
neck
right
beard.
now. Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange.
Strong neck beard.
First bet we had Anthony Richardson over under 177.5 passing yards at the Jets. Chris and I went under. Tony went over. Tony was correct. He had 272 in the game. So he had a really good game. Really, really good game. Colts have always believed in him, never wavered. Eagles on Thursday Night Football, they were 4-point favorites over the FT. Chris took the FT. We took Philly. Philly won by 8, 26-18. So we win that one.
The FT looked really good until Saquon started running on them in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Eagles Commanders, 49.5 total points in the game. Chris and I went over. Tony went under. Tony was correct. It was 26-18, 44 points. Also Thursday night, Saquon's rushing yard total or Brian Robinson plus Austin Eckler. Those guys combined for 70 yards. Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler. Saquon had 146. So Tony and I won that one. More passing attempts, Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts. Jaden Daniels had 32. Jalen Hurts had 28, so Chris and I were right on that one. Now, the Dallas Mavericks were 8.5-point favorites at the Utah Jazz. Chris and Tony took Dallas. I took Utah. The Jazz win 115-113, so they win that one outright. Grand Canyon University, the Antelopes, -5.5 at Arizona State. Chris chose ASU. Tony and I chose Grand Canyon. ASU won this thing outright, 87-76. So Chris wins that one. Final one, Tampa Bay Lightning -1.5 on the puck line over Winnipeg. We all chose the Jets. Jets. Lightning won 4-1, so we lose that one.
Man, I won the first 4 and lost the next 4.
Yeah, Winnipeg Jets, after a 15-1 start, lost their last 2 over the weekend.
Oh.
So, but that was a tough trip. They were at Tampa Bay and at Florida. So they need to get back in the cold weather there. Tony won the week, 11-10. Scraby 10-11. I was less than that.
Did I bounce? I was last week, right?
I think so. Yeah. So I don't know.
Back.
I haven't kept official statistics on this, but I know that you won last week. Let's put it that way. All right, here's what we got. They still haven't announced the National League Rookie of the Year.
I don't know if it's happening. Oh, they went to commercial.
They went to a break. They've interviewed all the candidates, so it should be shortly. While they're doing that, we'll do this. Texans -7 at Cowboys. I'll start.
Okay.
God, the Cowboys are a mess. But I honestly, there's something about Monday night, America's team.
Cooper Rush.
Referees are going to cheat. I'm going to take Dallas at home +7.
Wow.
I just feel they're going to play better. Tony?
Yeah, I need a big night from Mr. Stroud, so I'm taking the Texans.
Houston -7. Scraby?
I'm going to go with the Texans, too.
Texans -7.
By the way, did you see Jake Paul even paid for the curtains to go up over the sun in Dallas Stadium.
Yeah, that's another thing we have
Jerry
to
Jones
get
is
to.
the only one who doesn't want the curtains.
I didn't get a lot of rest this weekend, but I was able to sleep through the final 4 rounds of that Jake Paul Tyson fiasco.
Which BetMGM says that Tyson Paul was its most bet combat sport fight in its history.
That just points to us having a problem. That's really what that.
Do you guys think they should have been allowed to bet on this? Because this is like, it's crazy.
Why would you want to bet?
It was an officially sanctioned bout. I mean,
it was.
Tyson's record drops to 50-7, and I hope that it doesn't ever get a chance to drop to 50-8 because, I mean, we were stupid for tuning into that. Poor Mike. I mean, I was rooting for the guy, but after about a half of a round,
it became pretty
done.
obvious. Yeah,
half of a round, it was over for Tyson, and Jake Paul was just nice not to beat him silly. All right, Texans Cowboys only 41.5 points tonight. They go over or under that, Tony? 41.5. Like 21-21 would be over. I think they're thinking that the Cowboys aren't going to score very much.
I think that's exactly what they're thinking.
Yes.
I will take the over.
You'll stay over. Scraby?
Nope, I'm taking the under.
Oh, change. After, this is I'm using pen, Tony. Don't do
I'm
that.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Scraby?
This is going to be a bad game. I'm going to go under.
Under. All right, I'll fall for the 41-point thing and say they go over. Nico Collins
is back.
More yardage or CeeDee Lamb more yardage? Lamb has a sore back and Cooper Rush throwing to him.
The old Cooper Rush syndrome.
It sure seems like Nico Collins.
Did they have 75 yards passing at least?
They had 49 last week.
Yeah, that's
the Cowboys.
That's crazy.
49 in the game last week. You got to go with Nico Collins, I think, here. Tony, I know you want Nico.
I'm going Nico.
Scraby, make it a sweep, or you always like yourself some CeeDee Lamb. I mean, he's still a hell of a good receiver.
Not with Cooper Rush.
Not here. Not Nico Collins, okay? Joe Mixon, 107.5 yards. Over, under, receiving plus rushing yards.
Receiving plus rushing.
107.5, Tony. Joe Mixon.
Ooh, receiving. I'm say under.
Under. You want him to save all the yardage for Nico Collins.
That would
That's
be
why.
nice of him.
All right, Scrabe. Oh, I went out of turn. That's all right. Scrabe.
I'm going to go over.
Over 107. I think he'll go over that as well. I mentioned this already. Gonzaga, an incredible 11.5 over the Aztecs in Viejas Arena. That is, that's odds makers really loving Gonzaga. Come on, Dutch. Keep it close. Aztecs. Tony?
Aztecs.
Scraby?
Aztecs.
Really? All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Miami Heat -3 at home against the 2-10 Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid, rescue us, please. Scraby, Miami at home. I think Joel's playing tonight.
Sorry, I'm distracted. I think they're about to announce it, but we'll keep on going forward.
We're plugging forward here.
What are the Heat favored by?
3.
3.
Sixers at Miami.
I'll take the Heat.
I'll take Miami as well. Philadelphia is really hurting. Tony?
Philly.
Give one to the Philly?
Yeah.
All right. And who scores more tonight? The Ducks at Dallas or the Sharkies at home against Detroit? Ducks and Sharks are two of the worst teams in the NHL record-wise so far. Scraby, you're first. Who scores more tonight? Goals, Sharks or Ducks?
Oof.
Ducks at Dallas, Sharks home to Detroit.
I'm going to go Sharks.
I'm going to go Sharks because the Ducks are not going to score at Dallas. Tony?
Ooh, Ducks.
Really?
Yeah.
You got them.
I'm going opposite.
Not a baby.
Contrarian.
Uh-huh. All right, those are our picks for tonight. Do you want to go to break and take a shot?
No.
You want to keep it here because it seems like they're going to announce it.
Yeah.
But they may drag us for another 20
they
minutes.
They like to drag.
I do not want to be in a commercial break when this thing happens. Let me text the boss and see what he says.
Oh, wow. You're going to go
Well, they're
that
showing
far,
highlights of Jackson Churio right now.
Well, they just showed highlights of Merrill, so they're just
Well,
going
that means
through.
they're going to have to show highlights of Skeens still. I mean, this may be another. I don't know. It's okay with me, Scrape. You're the producer of the program.
I say we stay right here
because I know people really want to know who wins this award, and I want to too. And you're right. I don't want to be in a commercial break with the announcer.
3:25. We're going to be another 10 minutes without a break here.
Yeah. Scrape?
Rod says go for the break.
Rod? Oh, okay, well, if Rod says so, then what the hell?
Adam, because we can't hear what's going on. So Adam says, let's go to break. We'll come back immediately if something happens.
There it is.
So we'll be
More
back.
Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
Yeah. From the 90s.
Never mind, Scrappy. We got to get Rod to produce this show.
I was going to say.
Rod said go to break. We're not going to miss anything, and he was right. We didn't miss anything.
He was.
Welcome back to Gwynn and Chris, Carcello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby. They are still chit-chatting there on the MLB Network, and they still have not yet announced the National League's Rookie of the Year. So as soon as they do, we will let you in on it. The Padres have had, and they just went to a commercial break on TV. So
I told you they're going to drag us to the deep end.
You guys are right. I'm not going to fight you on that.
We know that we've got some more time. The Padres have had 2 Rookies of the Year. Anybody?
Benito?
If you can name both of them, you're like a great Padre fan.
Benito's one.
Everybody knows Benito. But does anybody know the
Khalil
other one?
Green?
Nope. Khalil Green was awesome back in the day. You're never going to get it.
Go ahead.
Unless you know it. 1976, he shared the award, relief pitcher Butch Metzger.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's it. Butch Metzger, 1976, and Benito, 1987, are the only Padres ever to win Rookie of the Year. The Brewers, who have Jackson Merrill in the running, they last won in 2020 with Devin Williams. The Pirates last won with Jason Bay. Back in 2004, who went on to be a Padre. Yes, yeah. After he was with the Pirates, he was a Padre. So the wait continues.
I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, he was a Padre originally.
I started as a Padre before he was even up for Rookie of the Year.
Traded for in the Giles deal. That sent.
Okay. Very good, Tony.
It was he ended up pitching a bunch of years. Perez.
There's a lot of Perez's, so I'll just go ahead and agree with you.
Martin?
No.
Yes, you're right. Jason Bay was a Padre for 10 plate appearances. He went 2 for 8 with 2 walks. He hit a home run Jason Bay hit a home run as a Padre before he was traded to the Pirates.
I'm going to have to check this now. It's going to bother me.
Well, I can look it up here because I'm on the Jason Bay page.
We're getting Oliver Perez.
Yeah, Oliver Perez.
There we go.
Adam on the chat.
Shout out to Adam. Our Adam?
No, Ali Perez. 2003, Jason Bay, along with Oliver Perez, went to the Pirates. And
BG.
Yes, Mr. Giles came to the Padres.
Still got us in commercial break, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we're still in commercial break. We're hesitating to go to anything because the second we go to anything else, they're going to announce this award.
Pop up.
And we want to be there. Now, the American League Rookie of the Year will also be announced today. Most people think it's going to be Luis Gil of the Yankees who's going to win it. He's in the running with Austin Wells and Colton Cowser of the Orioles. Those are the other American League Rookie of the Year finalists. It's a Rookie of the Year is the one thing that I will say about it. Not everybody who is a Rookie of the Year becomes an incredible player.
1,000%.
2020 Seattle Mariners Kyle Lewis. Where's he? That's only 4 years ago. You know, I mean, a lot of guys become great. Not everybody. Michael Fulmer, 2016 American League, won it. 2013, Will Myers, Tampa Bay, no longer in baseball. Anyway, it's an interesting award in that regard. A lot of guys become stars. A lot of guys don't.
Yeah.
So
it's not a prerequisite for.
No, you don't go right to the Hall of Fame if you win the Rookie of the Year award. No. Sometimes
still got some work to do, I think.
You still have some work to do. Last year's winner were Gunnar Henderson of the Orioles, who's still pretty good, and Corbin Carroll of the Diamondbacks, who after a slow start ended up pretty good this year. So
I think it's almost time, guys. Cal Ripken Jr. has joined it now.
That means it's not
Cal
almost
Ripken
time.
Jr. is there. They got to interview him for 5 minutes.
I'm assuming he's the guy giving away the award.
They're going to have to talk to
Why?
Cal
Is
for
that
a
the
little
Cal
while.
Ripken Award, is it?
I don't know. He was
it's
Rookie of the Year.
It's the Jackie Robinson Award, but unfortunately, Jackie was not available today. Cal Ripken did win this in 1982, which I believe was also the debut season of one Tony Gwynn Sr.
It was.
The National League winner that year was Steve Sachs, a second baseman for the Dodgers. I don't know that your dad was eligible until 83, though, his first full season.
And then he broke his wrist in that season.
Oh, so he really wasn't in the running.
Basically he was ineligible in 84 because he had accumulated.
He'd already been in 83 but the 83 winner was Darryl Strawberry. Was a hell of a player at the time.
Certainly went on to have a great career.
And yes, so there's a little Tony Gwynn Rookie of the Year history. What was your rookie season, Tony Gwynn Jr.?
That would have been 2006.
2006, you lost out to Florida Marlins shortstop Hanley Ramirez. Yes.
Were you up? Were you in the final three?
Yeah, I wasn't quite in the final three that year.
Hanley beat you out, man. Darn it.
As a matter of fact, they didn't do final threes at that point.
No, they didn't even do that back in the day.
Hanley Ramirez was
handed it out.
Did he ever reach full potential? I think it just happened.
Yes, it did. Livy Dunn
As we
smiling.
suspected.
I'm so happy that Livy Dunn got her shot on TV.
Leave Livy Dunn alone. She ain't doing nothing but supporting her man.
This is garbage. Now I'm angry.
You're gonna fling something across the studio?
Please don't.
I did just hit my microphone into the computer.
Wow. Not even close.
We told you we had a bad feeling.
23 first place votes for skiing, 7 second place votes, and it was completely flipped on Jackson Merrill. 7 first place votes out of 30. So I guess the ESPN panel was pretty accurate.
Yeah, 23 of the 30 votes went to skiing. It shouldn't have been that way. I think they got it wrong. I do, but 23 people fell for the Fugazi.
They were asleep when Jackson was playing.
They must have been. Jackson Merrill got 7 votes. He was second place on every other ballot. So I guess there's that. Jackson Merrill was not any less than second place.
He was a convincing
second place. He got no third place votes.
Jackson was a convincing second place. Oh, man. We were prepared for it.
We were.
What can you do?
I mean, I kind of figured when Paul Skeens was dressed like the most interesting man in the world that something was going to happen.
Crackling in the background.
Oh, I don't think he knew ahead of time. You're such a conspiracy person that you think that they told him that he was going to
dress
win.
Nice,
so dress nice.
No, I would think so, right? I mean,
no, they wouldn't.
Maybe he is just thinking positively about his stance.
I'm seeing the chat now, and they're angry at the writers, and I agree because we've been talking about this. All the awards have been voted on by coaches and players, except for the ones that actually matter. They're voted on guys that aren't actually
that's not true, and I'll say, but it's not. What you're saying is true, but you kind of
okay.
I think you're not.
I'm emotional.
Yeah, you're very emotional. I think the awards that we have come to care about are all voted by the writers.
Yeah.
All of them.
We told you this when the other ones were announced.
Exactly.
Jackson Merrill won all of those sporting news and the player award and this, that, and the other, but no one's going to remember any of it, unfortunately.
Right.
This is the one that, for whatever reason, matters the most.
Well, it's the one that's been around longer, right? The players' awards and things of that nature didn't come until much, much later. This is an award that has been presented by the writers as long as it's been around, if I'm not mistaken, Chris, right? It's always been voted on by the writers. So,
Jackie Robinson was the first one to win a Rookie of the Year back in 1941, I believe.
I'm pretty
off the top of my
sure
head.
the player awards didn't start popping off until 2000s.
Yeah. I mean, this has been nearly 100 years of baseball history.
I'll tell you why. So. I mean, Paul Skeens is the only one with his significant other there. They were just setting it up so that they could promote that Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn.
Gosh.
They can show her in the shot. It's true. Where's Jackson Merrill's significant other? Not there. I don't know if Jackson Churio has a significant other. Not sitting next to him.
Listen,
Paul Skeens is the only one.
Those are personal choices, Scrape. Those couples Jackson certainly has a girlfriend.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I find it weird.
That's how they chose
that they only invited one.
Maybe she's busy.
She could be busy.
She has a life of her own, too.
I'll tell you one thing. It'll be, while Scraby just yells and screams willy-nilly and goes nuts here. I think one thing that'll be interesting is to see...
Paul Skeens looks so uncomfortable up there right now.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what 7 writers voted for Jackson Merrill.
Let me see if I can find that.
I don't know that we can find that yet, but if you find it, great. Here's my thinking is that the 7 who voted for Paul Skeens are probably all in the Western time zone. I just don't think
so interested to see how
I'm really interested. Now, if this comes out where the Philadelphia writer and the Miami writer and the Washington D.C. writer went for Merrill, then I'll eat my words.
That's a good point.
But I'm pretty sure it's going to be Dodger writer,
at least
Giant writer, Rockies writer.
Even if they're not on the West Coast.
Probably both Padre writers because it's 2 from each city that vote, right?
Right.
It's 2 from each city that vote. My guess is it's going to be mostly West Coast because that's
Colorado.
That's where Merrill's impact was felt.
Yep.
But
can I tell you what the Pirates tweeted out?
Is this going to make you more angry?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Paul Skeens is inevitable.
Yeah. Kind of was.
They may have been listening to our show the past couple of weeks. Maybe that's why they wanted to go that
I want to
route.
find this vote because that does make a lot of sense. Oh, maybe I should just go to their website. That would be...
I don't know if they'll have it up this quick.
I don't know if they'll release each writer's votes yet. Maybe they'll have it by the end of the day.
That was
it.
Oh.
You know which people voted for who?
Yes.
All right, well, why don't you tell us when we come back?
We should go to break and hold
everyone.
Let's go
to break and let's keep it a cliffhanger for everyone.
I'll never tell you where to find this list.
Let's find out who voted for Jackson Merrill. The 7 who did when we return. More Gwynn and Chris.
Ben and Woods.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not used to complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But
and I both surmised that West Coast would lead the way in the voting, and we're not wrong. The West Coast did lead the way in voting for Jackson Merrill first place votes, but there are a couple surprises. Surprises from the standpoint of people got to watch on the West Coast and still voted differently. Scraby is our in-house dry snitch, and he will give up all of the information of who voted where. Scraby, let's break this down.
Want me to go everybody?
No. Let's break this down first in National League West. Because each city, as Chris was explaining earlier, each city that has a team has 2 voters. And so we'll start with the National League West because that at least starts us in the direction of the West Coast voters who got to watch him pretty consistently.
Yes. So the Arizona voters, Jesse Friedman, Barry Bloom, both voted for Paul Skeens.
How is Barry Bloom an Arizona writer?
That's where he resides.
That's
he does.
Yeah, he lives there. I actually talked to Barry Bloom during the wild card series.
So they both voted Paul Skeens.
Yes.
All right, Bloom, I'm getting you next time.
Let's see. Our guy Matt Snyder went with Paul.
Wait, stay on the West Coast.
Okay,
come
right.
on, man.
We go to L.A. and 2 writers there, Hirooki Minagishi and Johnny Flores Jr. Minagishi chose Jackson Merrill, and Flores Jr. chose Skeens. So they split
L.A.
there.
split the vote.
Yes, and if we go now to San Diego, obviously Jeff Sanders and John Maffey both chose Jackson Merrill. Now in San Francisco, you have the Chronicle, Susan Slusser voting for Skeens, and Alex Pavlovich of NBC Sports Bay Area voting for Jackson Merrill.
So they split. San
Susan
Francisco
Slusser,
splits the vote.
former guest on this show.
Yes.
Probably will not reprise. Sorry, Susan.
But that's
Colorado.
basically Colorado. Yes, you're right. Kyle Newman and Jack Etkin, both of them voted for Skeens.
They're no nothings.
So at least from
So 4 of the votes that Merrill got were on the West Coast. The other 2 were in the Midwest, and there was 1 East Coast voter,
D.C., right?
who obviously has insomnia.
Scrape.
The guy in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
He was the 1 East Coast voter
who actually stayed awake long enough to see Jackson Merrill play
I'm just
once in a
making
while.
sure because the way they put this is weird. Yeah. Well, there is a Chicago voter, so Midwest voter.
So, we got the Midwest. So 2 Midwest, 1 Midwest, no.
2 Midwest,
voters.
Chicago, Cincinnati, and then 1 Washington, D.C.
There you have it. First
and
place
everybody
votes.
else who voted for Paul Skeens. 23 votes for Skeens, 7 for Jackson Merrill. I mean, we can't even complain about it.
No, we can't.
I mean, it was
like, wasn't even close.
Like the rest of the country thinks we're just idiots over here and just like talking, out of the top of our head. I mean, out of our blowholes.
Well, at least we're going.
God,
you stopped me in my tracks. At least we're going to be able to talk to Matt Snyder tomorrow. He's coming on at 3:40. We're going to get to the bottom of why he voted for Paul Skeens.
I'm pretty sure when we got off that interview and we kind of talked about it, I felt like his voice was leaning towards Paul Skeens.
Me too.
And then indeed it was.
I would like to thank everyone who's been fighting the good fight with me since like June for this whole thing. I really tried. And everybody really tried.
I really tried.
I put together a great campaign for him. Just didn't work out.
Listen to you, Scrape. Well,
I never felt you had much pull, and now I know.
You have none.
You have none, unfortunately.
Hey, I flipped that Washington voter, and I flipped that Chicago voter.
He's flipping votes now.
He's taking some credit for that.
Now that I have the list of voters, I might be doing some calling next time a Padres player is up for Rookie of the Year.
Are there any other writers that we would recognize who voted? I don't need to hear all 23 who voted for Paul Skeens, but any names jump out at you?
Let's see. Not really.
Okay. That's all right.
Mike Puma. He's a New York Post guy.
Never heard of him.
Jonathan Mayo, we've had him on the show. He voted for Skeens. He's a Pittsburgh guy, though.
He's got to do what he's got to do there.
That's it right there.
If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit SpiroCuisine.com. All right, we do have a big five that we are going to try to get through. Let's get to it. Here's some traffic.
From the 97.3 The Fan traffic.
I'm not going to lie to everyone. I didn't think we were going to have a big five because I kind of hoped that we were celebrating Jackson Merrill winning Rookie of the Year. So it's going to be a little put together, but we'll get to it, okay? You guys all right?
All right. Yes. I don't know. Are you all right? Are you all right?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying things. I just
want to make sure you're going to be okay.
All right, let's get to the first one. It's Roki Sasaki rumor season, and everyone apparently knows where he is going to go, even if they don't know where he is going to go. Former Major League Baseball pitcher Dallas Keuchel was doing an interview and said that Sasaki to the Dodgers is a done deal. According to Keuchel, he had already heard that Sasaki had a deal in place with the Dodgers. What is unclear, though, is where he heard that, and he only said there had been quote-unquote rumblings about it. Keuchel did go out of his way to say that Sasaki himself did not tell him that, but still said that he would bet on Sasaki going to L.A. if it was his money. So, Chris, you're up first here. Do you believe Dallas Keuchel?
No, I do not.
You do not?
No, I do not.
Okay, why?
Because I think that AJ's got a couple of tricks up his sleeve.
Okay.
I don't know how you can know this.
You can't.
Even if he ends up with the Dodgers, I still don't believe Dallas Keuchel knows now. Like, I just, it's fun to say.
Is he saying this?
You might be right, but I don't think you know any. I don't see how you would know. I mean, did Sasaki call Dallas Keuchel out of the blue and say, I've already kind of decided?
No, he said he did not talk to Sasaki.
Well, that's what I mean. So, forget it.
Forget it.
Forget it.
Tony, do you believe Dallas Keuchel?
No. Dallas is. I've started to see him pop up on podcasts, and now he's breaking news. It only leads me to think one thing.
He's trying to find a place in the media world.
He's about to find a place, trying to find a place in the media world. He could very well end up with the Dodgers, as Chris just said, but that does not mean that he somehow got the breaking news. He could just be throwing that out there. By the way, it's not like the worst team to throw out there, and if you're going to guess, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I'm
sure somebody somewhere before the season started said, I am sure the Dodgers are going to win the World Series.
Fact.
They ended up being correct, but
they didn't know.
Could not have known when they said it.
That is true. But I think Tony's sniffing out what Dallas Keuchel's doing, and that's trying to find a job in media. So he's saying things.
Number 4.
Clickbait.
When athletes start saying things.
When they start,
they spend their whole career saying nothing.
He never said it to me. I've not talked to anyone in this camp, but I know that it's done deal.
This is what I'm hearing.
Lots of chatter about the Buffaloes, and their lack of success last year. Now, fast forward to now. He's turned the program right around, and he is Coach Prime, and they are now looking at the college football playoff this season. Travis Hunter is up for the Heisman Trophy. Tony, is Coach Prime the Coach of the Year?
I know this pains you to have to ask this question, Mr. Hader, but
Yes.
he's certainly at the top, if not the leader for Coach of the Year. A 1-11 program he took over last year. They went 4-9, 4-8 last year.
Yeah.
Now they're 8-2. They were picked 11th, I believe, in this conference this year.
Yeah, they weren't picked to have a good year.
No, and so you look at what he's been able to do. A lot of criticism for how he went about doing it. Yet it has proven pretty fruitful for the folks in Colorado that are Buffalo fans. So yes, I do think he is Coach of the Year candidate. If not, should be the winner of that award.
Is there anyone that looks like Paul Skeens that might win it before he does? I mean, Chris, I get the rest of the show to be bitter, okay? Chris, do you think Coach Prime is the Coach of the Year?
Well, I mean, he's going to have some competition. The Indiana coach has got to be in the running here.
That's a great one,
and I can't remember his name, honestly. Kurt.
We got
Kurt
you. We know
Signetti?
We know.
Signetti, thank you.
There
Yes, he's not a household name yet. But for Indiana to be 10-0, they've never, ever won 10 games. Ever. They're 5th in the nation. Deion's been remarkable. I'd have to give the Indiana guy the inside track as we speak.
My grandpa would be very happy. He went to Indiana, and he never got to see his football team be good, ever.
Nobody who's ever rooted for Indiana has.
I think that goes for everybody.
So I'm glad for Indiana and their fans.
Number 3.
There are 14 first ballot Hall of Famers that were announced today for the 2025 Baseball Hall of Fame ballot. Strap in, guys, because I'm going to ask you which guys are first balloters, okay, in your mind. Carlos Gonzalez, Curtis Granderson, Felix Hernandez, Adam Jones, Ian Kinsler, Russell Martin, Brian McCann, Dustin Pedroia, Hanley Ramirez, Fernando Rodney, CeCe Sabathia, Ichiro Suzuki, Troy Tulowitzki, and Ben Zobrist. Chris, any of those guys first ballot Hall of Famers?
Ichiro.
Okay.
Yeah, you can book that one. I think CeCe will get close, but I think he'll probably be one of those guys that they make him wait a little. The rest of the guys you named are in the Hall of really good. I don't know that any of them are in the Hall of Fame.
Felix, did you say Felix Hernandez?
King Felix, yes, thank you. He'd be 3rd on my list, but I think he'll have to wait a little as well.
All right.
So I think Ichiro's the only slam dunk there.
Tony, first ballot Hall of Famers here?
Yeah, CeCe and Ichiro are the first ballot guys, I think.
So you think CeCe will be first ballot?
I think he will.
They're not going to make him wait, huh?
He's left-handed. I think there aren't a ton of lefties that have had the kind of success that he has had.
Yeah.
So I think that gives him a leg up. I also think, like you, who was the third one you said?
King Felix.
King Felix and Curtis Granderson, probably two guys that are. All those dudes are really, honestly, Hall of very good.
Of course, they're very good.
But those two guys, got an outside shot.
All right. We'll look forward to that over the summer.
Number 2.
Matt Eberflus, the head coach of the Bears, is trying to explain away his loss yesterday. And although he does make a great point about the long snapper being interfered with, he did say this after the game. We'll turn the play in because obviously they were on our long snapper, so we'll turn it in and see what the league says from there. But again, we've just got to be firmer in the execution. So my question is, what's the point of turning the play in if nothing can be reversed?
It's like the referee mistakes in the NBA afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, he traveled on this play that won the game for him, but that's just what it is.
I don't understand but my real question is this. Does this make the Bears look weak?
What?
To turn in the play and say,
Chris?
Yes. I think they look like panty waists.
Panty waist, you
Yes.
say.
I've always felt the Bears were kind of headed in that direction. And with Matt Eberflus, I'm pretty sure they've arrived at that status.
I don't understand what the point of saying that is. Like, oh yeah, we're going to turn it in. Like, is that supposed to help you with the media in that moment? Like, are they going to get off your case?
Maybe ownership looks at it and says, hey, at least the guy's paying attention.
He's trying.
And isn't allowing us to be used and, abused by the officials. But I think he's going to be able to take this complaint with him when they fire him in a few weeks.
Yeah, this is his last-ditch effort. Tony, did you need to say anything about this? I think you already did, right?
I think I did.
All right.
Number 1.
Wait, did I?
No, you really didn't.
Yeah, I don't think you did either.
You got everything in on
That's
this
why
one.
when you confirmed, I was like, okay.
I don't think it makes him look weak. I think this is kind of standard practice. Yeah. Maybe he shouldn't have said it, to the media, but he was asked about it. I'm
just
sure.
turn it in.
Just to say,
just email to Goodell and just say, take a look.
And the NFL has decided.
I'm sure there's like a real process that you have to go through.
The NFL will announce tomorrow. This is the first missed call in the history of the league.
We're going to redo it.
It's never happened before. There's never been a missed call until now. Incredible, Matt, how you were able to unearth that.
And now we sign you to a lifetime contract.
Yes.
All right, the final one.
Bears win. I'd like to see how that goes over in Green Bay when they find out they actually lost that game.
Their 10-game win streak has come to an end because of a redo.
Yes.
When Braden was leaving the studio, I saw Annie and Nelson's rundown open, and I'm kind of upset that I wasn't the only one to see this story, but this was on Twitter. A friend of this person had a VIP box for the UNLV game over the weekend. They ordered pizza and wings to this VIP box. How much do you think that would cost, guys?
How many
at a
pizzas,
football game, or
one pizza
delivered
and then
from
one thing of wings.
Delivered from outside to the stadium,
No, like your VIP.
I'm gonna say $150.
You were at the actual Allegiant Stadium,
correct?
And you're in the
one
box.
large pizza and how
one
many
large
wings?
pizza and wings,
or actually it says wings, but it's actually crispy chicken tenders, and there's probably like
you probably get like 8 of them.
$100.
$100. No, try $653.18. The pizza, and I
was going to say something more exaggerated than Tony, but I would have never got to that.
In your guys' grid, you can see the picture of the pizza and the wings. It looks nearly inedible for $653.
Oh, stop. It does not look inedible.
It doesn't look inedible.
It doesn't look $653.18.
That pizza right there costs $300.
Well, here's the key.
$300 for a pizza
The actual cost was $490, but there's a $112 administrative
and guess
charge.
what? I read into this a little bit more. That doesn't go towards the person's tip. That is just because you were there using their business for food.
So you got to pay for the box and then pay for the service in the box.
And then tip, and then pay for a $490 worth of food you could pick up at Jack in the Box for like $10.
And if you're an Aztec fan, you had to watch a 41-20 beatdown.
That's why this is the story of the game, Chris, right there.
$300 for a pizza.
Chris versus fans next.
All right, welcome back to Gwynn and Chris. We have a little more than a half hour, less than a half hour actually to go before we get to Monday Night Football, Cowboys and Texans coming up here. We got a little Chris versus the fans to have some fun. If you'd like to play some trivia, perhaps get yourself a trip to Las Vegas when it's all said and done. 833-288-0973. Jackson Merrill did come up short in the NL Rookie of the Year balloting. Paul Skeens got 23 of the 30 first-place votes. Jackson Merrill was voted Rookie of the Year by both San Diego writers, one from L.A., one writer from San Francisco, one from Chicago, Cincinnati, and the only real East Coast vote Jackson got was from a writer in Washington, D.C. Otherwise, everybody went with the flash of Skeens, whose 1.96 ERA was the lowest for any rookie with at least 20 starts in the live ball baseball era, which dates back over 100 years. And that's what people went for. As we've been saying throughout the show, really feel like Jackson Merrill should have won it.
Yeah.
But not because Paul Skeens wasn't great. He was. But I thought Jackson Merrill was better and more deserving. But that's neither here nor there. As it turns out now, the Padres remain with 2 Rookie of the Year award winners in history, Benito Santiago being the last in 1987. Luis Gil of the Yankees was the American League Rookie of the Year. Gil, spelled G-I-L, but pronounced Heel, becomes the 10th Yankee to win Rookie of the Year, which is an American League record. But get this, the Dodgers have the most overall Rookie of the Year award winners.
Yes.
18.
They had 3 straight one year.
I believe they had 4.
4 straight.
Actually, at one time, yeah.
Mondesi.
Incredible run.
Yeah, they had a bunch
The Dodgers rookie crop over the years. Pretty good. Anyway, tonight the Aztecs will take on revenge-minded Gonzaga. Last year, the Aztecs went up to Spokane and knocked off the Zags. This time around, Gonzaga looks to get even. And the latest college basketball rankings today bring Gonzaga into town as the number 3 ranked team in America. Viejas Arena, 7 o'clock tonight, to see if the Aztecs can pull off a huge upset.
Do we know what TV channel that is?
We do.
CBS Network.
CBS Sports Network.
Yes.
Get that one.
Scraby, you don't get that one,
No.
huh? Well, hang with them.
It's just ridiculous.
It's unfortunate.
How do I get every single sports channel except for the 2 that I need, MLB Network and CBS Sports Network? It's ridiculous.
I mean, I think you can only answer that question
Not,
since you...
not that you have anybody to go home to. Stay here in the studio. We get it here.
I have Lucky to go home to.
Well,
He's waiting for me.
Go pick Lucky up, bring him back to the studio, have a little camp out here. Watch the game in the studio.
I think Lucky will be all right with you for it. You can watch the first half at least.
Mm-hmm.
Then head on over. Let some of that traffic die down.
7 o'clock.
You know what's funny is that they keep putting up Paul Skeens stats, but they're always like minimum this many things, and it's always right around so that it qualifies him in there.
Yeah.
Like minimum 130 innings pitched. He had 133.
Had 30 and 2/3 or something.
Let it go,
Minimum 20 games pitched. He had 22.
All right.
Let it go. Let it go.
We've lost, Scraby. We've lost.
Let it go, my boy.
And as somebody smartly wrote in the chat, probably the least unhappy person about this result is Jackson Merrill himself.
Yeah. He just wants to win a World Series.
Yes, he does, and he's a lot closer to one than Paul Skeens is.
That's a great
for
point.
sure.
I'm feeling better, Chris.
There you go. NFL Week 11 wraps, as we said tonight, with Texans and Cowboys. There was a couple of little NFL notes. The Giants, New York Giants today, demoted Daniel Jones, not only to back up all the way to quarterback 3.
He fell 2 spots.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, he's going to be the highest paid quarterback 3 in NFL history.
It's hard not to go back to Hard Knocks from this offseason where the owner walked in and was like, I'm not going to feel good about this if he ends up with like the Eagles or something.
Saquon.
Just go back to just one more quick thing. They decided to pay Daniel Dimes Jones
instead of
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Saquads.
Well done. Tommy DeVito, welcome back.
He's back.
You are the new quarterback of the New York football
you still
Giants.
think he's charging the same prices for his appearances like he was last year?
That's right. Tommy didn't want to go to no pizza joint last year.
Do you remember?
But then didn't he end up going though?
He ended up going.
He did. He did the right thing.
He blamed it on his agent.
He did the right thing in the end
for trying to get too much money out of the local establishment.
He did. I remember this whole thing now. It's all coming back to me.
Yeah.
Do you think he still lives at home even though he's like not a rookie anymore?
Save some loot, man.
I don't think Tommy DeVito's making any more than the minimum, whatever it might be.
He was catching flack for staying at his parents' house. What did we do?
He
Do like a big five of that?
Starting quarterback in the NFL with like a real salary,
hanging with his mom.
Hey,
nothing wrong with that.
I'm not going to judge someone for that. Chris?
No, nor should you.
No, I would never. I would never.
All right, let's play a little Chris versus the fans while Tony is trying to keep from choking over there.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
Howdy do.
now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, let me get you the prize, then we'll get you the rules, then we'll get you the game.
Hang on a second.
Uh-oh.
Brian Kenny is talking now on MLB Network. I'm sure he's explaining how Jackson Merrill should have won.
Probably not.
No,
Probably
he's probably talking about Paul Skeens' spin rates.
His F-WAR.
His F-WAR.
Jackson had a better F-WAR than Skeens. So even Kenny can't
He's talking
talk
about
that.
regular war. Then.
Yeah, I know.
He's talking about something that doesn't make any sense.
Something that's
By the way, a
to
much
us.
closer race in the American League.
Yeah, Hill had 15 first place votes. Colton Cowser with 13 was right behind him.
Thank you, Colton,
in the balloting
for winning me my second fantasy baseball championship.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
All right, you will be qualified for a chance to win our grand prize,
But
a two-night stay.
You know who is defending? I bet you was defending Jackson?
Buck Showalter.
Mr. Buck Showalter. He was one of the guys saying before this race ended that an everyday player should have the advantage.
There you go.
I always said that Buck Showalter had, was very smart.
Always a legit character guy.
I always knew I liked that guy. Yeah. You'll be qualified for the grand prize: a two-night stay at Westgate Las Vegas, 2 tickets to Soul of Motown, and $150 food and beverage credit. The Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino features newly designed premier rooms, part of their $70 million room renovations. Home of legendary Vegas fun. The award-winning Soul of Motown is a high-energy concert-style musical tribute celebrating Motown legends. This is a must-see show during your Las Vegas vacation getaway. Tickets at Westgate Resorts. Now the rules. You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it, and you'll get the first question for free today. Chris vs. the Fans is presented by SD Fat Loss. Lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days. Visit sdfatloss.com to schedule your free consultation. There we go. Whew.
You want to give me my first contestant on
Chris,
this
you
Monday?
give me 1 through 6. Just give me a number.
There's the die.
2.
2
Dos.
is... Oh, it's Dexter.
Wait, I'm going to roll again.
What up, Dexter? Welcome
Hi, Dexter.
back.
Konnichiwa. Genki desu ka? Boku wa genki desu.
I think he was
Because
angry
you
that Paul
always have,
Skeens
you
won.
have that one caller who speaks Spanish to you guys. I figure I'd speak my native
Oh,
language.
Okay, I see,
all
I see you working
All
it.
right. Thank you, Dexter.
Very good.
All right, Dexter.
But before we proceed, 2 things. Number 1, East Coast bias all the way.
For sure.
Number 2, your traffic reporters, they know nothing because the eastbound 52 does not connect to the east and westbound Claremont Mesa Boulevard.
Okay.
All right.
We'll tell them.
So anyway,
Well, hey, Dexter, before you get on the traffic people on the station, Vicky Pepper she's filling in for Kelly Danick. So we will pass that along to her, though, because we don't want to give wrong traffic reports.
Here we go, Dexter.
Adam, you're listening. Pass it along.
First question.
Just like, can we move along?
Which 2 Yankees are up for AL MVP?
Oh, which 2 Yankees? You
C.
mean here come the Judge and Soto?
You didn't have anything clever
That
for Soto?
is correct. On to question number 2.
I just deleted all the questions on accident.
No, you didn't.
Oh, there it's back.
That means I win! Yay!
Dexter's got some energy today. I love it.
Dexter is tired.
Which NL West player won NL Rookie of the Year last year? Last season.
Last year.
Last season, yes.
Last year it was oh shoot. Crap. Okay.
Gonna need an answer, sir.
Okay, my answer is going to be no answer.
No answer, he said, which is a
The
good thing.
old no answer. Corbin Carroll, I believe. was
Yeah,
who
we
did.
just
Diamondback.
talked
We just
about
talked
it.
about it a little while ago.
A little
Sorry, Dexter,
guy.
but thanks for the energy, man.
Yeah,
You're
all
on it.
right.
Good
Thank
energy,
you, sir.
Dex.
You're on it
Thank
today.
you, sir.
Next
All right, let's go to another longtime player, John Temecula.
Hey, John and Temecula, welcome to the show.
Johnny boy.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing well, my friend. Here we go.
I am doing great. So as soon as Paulie gets back to me, I should be coming down to the Odyssey Palace next week with the second annual thank you package for all of you guys on all the shows. Although they won't let me in the Palace. Maybe one day I have to, wait outside because I'm
should let you
riprap.
in the Palace.
It took me a couple of years to get in myself, John. So.
All right, John. We appreciate the love, man.
Yes,
Here we go.
of
First
course.
question. What MLB former player is the Rookie of the Year award named after?
How about Roberto Clemente?
Roberto Clemente.
Interesting notion. I think we already talked about this today, too, did we not?
We did.
Jackie Robinson.
Sorry, John.
Jack Roosevelt Robinson, unfortunately. Sorry, John, but thank you for the kind words. And
hopefully we
look forward to that package.
If you're here when we're here, John, give us a shout. We'll try to get you squeezed in for a minute to the building.
Maybe you can get me in. And there are some things in the package that are labeled specifically for Tony and for Scraby, and one's a challenge, Scraby. You got to take it.
Because John makes like salsas and stuff.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I
can only we might have to have that one live.
Yes.
John, you don't know what you just did.
We'll let John be in here to administer it to you live.
Yes.
All right, let's. We'll talk, John.
John will take it all
All right,
under
thank you guys.
advisement.
Have a great one.
You too. All right.
Let's get our next contestant rolling.
How can I delete that last little bit? My mouth is
the
already
heat
watering.
is coming. Yes.
Let's go to our next contestant. Let's go to EC Money.
Easy Money. Welcome back, brother.
Hey, let's go, guys. I love the energy and the segment. You guys have a great show.
Thank you, sir. Here we go. First question. How many rings are in the Olympic symbol?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nice. Count it out.
I like
easy. Question number 2. What AFC running back this year has the longest run from scrimmage?
And I know you're a fantasy football guy.
You caught me cold. I'm gonna say no answer and give it to Chris.
All right, he's gonna play strategy here.
No answer.
I've seen this strategy before. Give it to me again, Scraby, just so I'm clear.
What AFC running back this year has the longest run from scrimmage?
Well, I remember Derrick Henry going about 88, so I'm going to go with that.
Derrick Henry for 88.
It was 87, so we move on.
Get out of here! Sorry about
Sorry,
that.
Easy Money.
Easy Money.
We'll talk soon.
You gave Easy Money too much hope there when you get the wrong button.
So,
all right, Scrape, it's 4:15 here,
just
buddy.
for no reason.
I mean, you shouldn't have given the yardage.
Oh, stop it.
4:15, buddy. What do you want to do here?
We're going to have to keep going. Let's go to Michael and Lemon Grove.
Michael and Lemon Grove. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Michael, good
What's
luck,
up,
sir.
guys?
What's going on? Here we go. First,
I want to know, is a John 10 going to be worse than a Ty 10?
I think John 10 has the potential.
It's got to be worse than the Ty 10 I found.
To be hotter than that Ty 10.
I love how I do the challenge and then the guys won't give me
I mean,
credit
it was
for
a
doing
fake
the
Ty.
challenge.
It was a fake Ty 10.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
Now
saying.
it's fake.
It was fake. Here we go. First question. This is a tricky first one. What sport holds the America's Cup?
Which sport?
Horse racing?
Horse racing. Ello for the steal.
Yachting?
Yachting.
I don't know, honestly.
I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no. The answer
go ahead.
is sailing.
Oh.
You know, yachts don't, I don't know that too many yachts got sails on them.
Fair enough.
Yachts.
That's fine.
Let's just move
We're going
on.
to question number 2.
Yes. Here I go. That's me, actually.
My yacht has sails on
What team did the Dodgers trade Alex Verdugo to before the 2020 season?
The Astros?
Astros. They traded him to the Cheaters. Not correct.
it. Bo Sox?
Bo Sox. That is
Sorry,
correct.
Michael.
Sorry, Michael.
All right. We're gonna have to give out 2 prizes tomorrow. We're
We're
just
out
too
of time.
late. We're just too
Oh,
late.
yeah, we got
17.
Monday Night Football coming up
We've
shortly.
got to get to break. We will do
Why do you gotta be so
pri-
good at this game, Chris?
Yeah, Chris
I'm not.
demolishing the
I
contestants.
didn't even know yachting. I had no
Well,
sales.
we're getting some pushback. I think we may have accepted yachting.
Yachting?
Yeah. Well, we're
Come
going to
on.
look in the break.
Yeah, we're
gonna
definitely going to look
Okay.
in the break.
All right.
More Gwynn and Chris on
From
their side.
97.3 The Fan Traffic Center.
complain about now.
Gravy, what you got?
Apparently, AT&T Stadium getting ready for Monday Night Football. They were opening the roof, and a piece of sheet metal fell off the roof, and now they're closing the roof.
So they're going to close it now.
So no sheet metal falls off the top of the roof.
Apparently, our show will continue for another hour and a half because Monday Night Football's on hold.
That's not true.
Don't play like that.
Thought I'd get you.
Don't play like that.
Oh, you did not get me.
I thought I had you.
Nope, not me.
No, they're still going to go on with the game tonight because nobody was injured on this. Can you imagine walking around down on the field and some piece of sheet metal falls from the roof, lands about 10 yards away? Well, nobody got hurt, so on we go.
We can joke about it because no one got hurt, but
That's
that
right.
sheet metal, that's taking someone out if it did land from that fire.
That's pretty dangerous.
Ryan Clark said the bottom done already fell out in Dallas.
And now
the top might as well, too.
Not bad. The Cowboys said in a statement, we can confirm that a piece of metal came loose and fell onto the field with some additional debris.
I mean, that could have been really bad.
Yeah, they're now closing the roof, so be careful while they close it.
You never know.
It's a dangerous, could be a more interesting Monday night game than we expected. CeeDee Lamb at the 40, at the 30, has to dodge that piece of sheet metal at the 20. As long as nobody gets hurt.
All I know is that I could still see the sun coming in the stadium from the other end.
Gracious. It's a night game tonight, Scravy,
Right.
so get past it.
They should be all right.
It's 6:25 in the evening there, or 6:25. Should be fine.
Don't let AI dictate your fantasy lineup. Instead, get bite-sized fantasy football analysis in your ears. Listen to the Sleeper King podcast, giving you all the fantasy insight you'll need in just 20 minutes every day. Every league has a Sleeper King, and it should be you. Follow the Sleeper King on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
All right.
Perfect time.
We actually only have 30 seconds. I started it late, so.
Well, indeed. Back at it again tomorrow, full 4 hours. What we got? Coach Velasquez scheduled to join us.
Yes.
After the Aztecs beat Gonzaga?
Yes.
Pull off the upset of number 4 Gonzaga.
Come on, boys.
Let's do it. You guys have a good night. See you tomorrow.
Bye.